Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. All right. I believe my screen is visible to all. Okay. So we, somewhat around 22 years ago, the co-founders of Aarohi, they started with this question: what's the purpose of education, and should learning be any different from living? And that was in a way, the start of how we see open learning, where the child or each individual is the leader of their own life. And some of the core um, propositions or ideology or essence, as we call, of open learning is we don't bind the child with any curriculum. The belief is each individual or each child is capable of deciding what they want to learn and how they want to learn and from whom they want to learn. So once you take a rigid or a fixed curriculum out of the question, the possibilities are plenty. And that's what these families, they'll share further as we go into learning more about their journeys, how their children go about learning what they want to learn. So once the curriculum is out of the picture, like, we putting on a curriculum onto the child, suddenly the whole world and everything in this world is worth learning and worth investing our energies into. So whatever the child wants to learn, they can go ahead and start learning it from wherever and from whomever they want to. So there is no bounding in that sense. This is an important element where some of you were saying you're looking for a school. I would like to make a correction. Aarohi is not a school. We don't have classes. We don't have teachers. We do have facilitators who kind of, help, keep the whole community afloat. But there are no teachers who will teach things very separately, because we believe each individual or each child is capable of figuring out what they want to learn and how they want to learn. And there are, when there is no one particular teacher, there is a whole plethora of options from where they can learn. It could be YouTube, it could be from their peer, it could be just having a mentor. So yes, so there is no particular teacher to teach at Aarohi. So somewhat this is how we would look at the circle of learning, where it starts from the individual, the responsibility of learning and figuring out and deciding is first with the individual, followed by the family. It's a very, how do I say, we co-create this journey, right, as a family together. And then we have our friends and we have community like Aarohi, and then it's our local city or wherever our locality is. That's the next sphere of learning we can. And then in this age of internet, the whole world you are connected to, so you can learn from different parts of the world and be connected to different families. So as Ruchika is from Mysore, Pranav is from Mumbai, all these families are part of RUB from their respective cities. Some children do come to campus who need that physical kind of a campus kind of a engagement, but the community is widespread. Many families from all across the country, as well as some of the foreign countries, are part of the community. The third one is there is no assessment who there's no external assessment. There is a lot of self-assessment. As a community, we come together and all of us reflect, but each individual is reflecting for their own self and they're discussing about it. And there's a lot of feedback that goes into the whole learning journey. But there are no external benchmarks in terms of exams, marks, or all those things. So the assessment is by the child. Of course, a lot of feedback and reflection happens along with the community. So that adds to the whole perspective of what all I can do, how I can do. You get a lot of ideas by virtue of being in the community. Ah, this is the classic thing of everyone, and in fact, all of us are open learners in that sense. When we start as a toddler, nobody tells us how to learn our mother tongue or how should we walk. So in that sense, we are all open learners, and in the community, everyone of every type and all interests, we all come together and co-create our learning journeys. The okay, this was, we also have some of you who have teenagers, and uh, this was the fourth proposition, where should college or school be the only way? We say yes, that's one way that many families follow, but that need not be the only way. And with Aarohi and with so many families, we've seen, once you keep all your options open, which is why it's called open learning, there is no limitation to how you can learn and what you can learn, and you can go about your journey. And we will explore a few examples as we go along the way on how people also are going about, uh, not just at a homeschooling or unschooling level, but even figuring out their professions, going out in the real world, because a lot of times there's a question like, what is the future of the child if they are doing this sort of a journey? And we will dive into teenagers who are going through this sort of a journey, where they're also figuring out their profession in a beyond the mainstream education, without going to a college or without the degree system. Ultimately, it's about two things. It's as much about the freedom, and much more about the responsibility. And once the responsibility of learning is entrusted on the child, we have seen that it surpasses all the doubts but that one has, right? Like there's always a doubt that, okay, if they're given all this freedom, won't they just be sitting on their phones, or won't they be on their screens? Maybe the families can share on what happens when responsibility is given to the child to lead their learning. And typically, this is how we would see that, it starts with a lot of exposure. The child gets to explore a lot of things, uh, very deeply. And then ultimately, maybe in the teenage or more beyond the tween phase is when they think of, going deeper in one or two or three domains, and finally how they make it as their profession. So ideally, this is how a journey would look like in open learning. Uh, the bigger aspect of this whole journey, when you're with a community, suddenly you're not alone on this journey. You have like 50 other families from across the world to kind of be with you on this journey, where you can support each other, get so many ideas from each other, and as Ruchika was saying, any city you go, there's an Aarohi family with whom you can connect. So it's a very different, or a very yeah, a different, I would say, way of engaging in terms of learning. Okay, so while as I mentioned earlier, there's a campus which is near Bangalore, 60 kilometers from Bangalore, where there are some children who are part of the campus, but many families are also part of the community from their respective homes. Now we connect digitally through Zoom. We come for weekly planning, reflection. So if those kinds of needs you have, there is always a possibility of you connecting from your home. This is self-explanatory. So there's a lot of connections and collaborations that happens. We have an app called Discord, where we are connected and we see what each of us is doing if we want to collaborate. So all of those things are happening in the community. Of course, there are facilitators and there are mentors who kind of keep guiding you through this journey. Now, the other bit quickly, I will say, like, should this be only be limited to the schooling part? We say no, the teenagers can also figure out their profession or their career interests by, we say, start with 1 year, and this 1 year you just invest uh, in what you like doing. Keep everything aside, take a break from everything else, and go ahead and do what is it that you like doing. and we had 10 youth who were part of this journey, this sort of a journey in the last 1 year, and we are starting from this year again. So teenagers, if you know teenagers, CoVersity is the journey for them. This is very similar to open learning. It's just that it's a bit more intense and rigorous in terms of, you committing to a few interests of yours, and also being with other teenagers and going about your journey. This could be for any teen who is wanting to go deeper into just one domain and want to kind of figure out how they can make it as a profession, or teens who are not very excited about studies and exams, rather they want to do hands-on practical work. So that's great. CoVersity is a great journey for them. And finally, if there are teens who are not very sure, okay, what should be my career? Take a break of 1 year, deep dive into various domains. As Aparna has seen in this picture, she explored electronics, art, and currently she is exploring mud constructions or natural building as it's called, with internships, projects. Ultimately, it's for someone who wants to lead their life as well as their education. We'll come more to this. Okay, so maybe now we can pause finally with this picture as our ending, where in open learning, we trust the child to be leading their journey. And with that, we can open for questions. Okay, big crowd. Okay, anyone has any questions? We have three Aarohi families, Ruchika, Pranav, and Baisakhi with us. Uh, and interestingly, they are from three different zones of this country. One, I think, is from eastern part, one is southern part, one is western part. So yes, please share your questions and we can have them discussed.
Kritika, hi, this is Swapnil from Bangalore.
Hi,
My,
sir.
my son is 10-year-old. So I would like you to assist me in visualizing with some real life example, as in your students or uh, learners who are part of the community. One, for in general, for how long, or for on an average, how long they have been there. That is one. Second is, do we have learners who have given 10th or 12th under this construct?
Okay. All right. Swapnil, I'm just trying to maybe dig a bit deeper. When you say how long
Okay.
families have been, what is your need as in terms of as a family? What is it that you're looking for? Maybe if you can share a bit about that, it would help us to kind of see what is your need and we can respond accordingly.
So I will also speak, and I have something in mind. Maybe my wife, she's also part of the forum right now. She will also speak. So I personally would like to know, I will not say difficulty, but concern areas when we are doing a grooming or shaping of learners through this construct. So conventional is you have a set pattern. You don't have to bother about 10th ka exam or other things, right? This is something which will need a parent to be more proactive and well ahead of time in terms of thinking things. right? So if my son is in sixth, right, and if we are joining, then what happens when class 10th happens, or what happens when class 12th happens? How do I prepare myself?
Okay. Okay, we'll go step by step. I think there are two questions here. One is the concerns, or how do you go about this journey, and the future in terms of when the child is at 10th standard or so. Maybe we'll start with the first question in terms of, uh, when there is no fixed curriculum or no structure, uh, how is it? Any of you, Ruchika or Pranav, you want to just share? Pranav, I think, has unmuted. Yeah, Pranav, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to share here. So, firstly, uh, sorry, I forgot the name. I missed out on the name. Uh, Name of
Swapnil.
Swapnil. Yeah, Swapnil. Sorry. Swapnil. So basically, see, firstly, when we say open learning, when you say as a parent, we have to be involved and we have to be proactive and we have to be, uh, taking taking center stage. Otherwise, things are in the automatic mode. That is not really the case. In open learning, it is not about we are just letting the child do what they want to do. It's we are kind of giving them the responsibility of their life. So when we give them that responsibilities, they decide on what they want to do, how they want to do, till what time they want to kind of pursue on into something. So it's completely their choice, and we as a parents, we trust that choice, we believe in them, and we facilitate them. That's it. And so it's they who take charge of their lives. So, firstly, it's not about we getting involved, other we kind of getting detached and kind of be with them. That's one thing. Uh, so, like our daughter is 11, and she is in complete control of her life. What she wants to do, what are her focus areas, what are her interests. So she is the one who decides on what she wants to do. Now, regarding unstructured, so there is no. It is not like open learning is unstructured. It is structured in a manner where the child himself decides the structure. So I will decide what I want to do, when I want to do, at what pace I want to do, whom I want to learn, what I want to learn. Like there could be multiple different ways of learning. Somebody may want to learn through interaction. Somebody would want to learn through, say, YouTube. Somebody would want to learn with reading or travel or XYZ. So the person who wants to learn, the method or the way the best suits the person will decide this is how I want to learn this particular area, and it could be different for different things. So it's again left to the individual on how to do it. So, and the structure, when we say structure, the planning is done by the child itself. My daughter has a very rigorous plan from 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the night, and she follows that plan, and she has some certain targets or certain projects in mind which she decides I want to finish in 1 week, 6 weeks, or 2 months, and around there what I want to do, what are my areas, if I'm going to travel, what I'm going to travel, and what I'm going to look for. So it's completely structured in that way. So it is not an external structure imposed on them. It's a structure which they create for themselves. So that is on the structure part. And regarding the exams, see again, exams is the choice. So depending on what the child wants to do in future, if their career or something they want to pursue something which demands 10th and 12th, of course necessarily they will have to go through that. And for that there are ways, there is NIOS and all, where you can give 10th exam, 12th exam, and then you can apply for colleges. So that option is always available. But if there are things which child says, I like my daughter is more into sports or physical thing, like Malcolm or something, or she likes reading or writing, and for writing she doesn't need to pursue any particular certification, so she may not give exam. So it's purely up to the child again, that what she wants to do. So we as a family have a discussion, have a dialogue, uh, we understand each other, try to explore things together. But of course, the decision lies with the child, and based on the need, the things are done. So it is not like the default thing. It's not like already there is a set pattern and you just walk that path. Here you decide on you choose your things, and you carve of your path, how you want to carve your path. So that's the whole thing. So it's not a compulsion to give 10th and 12th. If yeah, but if certain things require 10th and 12th, that has to be given, and that will be given, and there are ways of doing it.
Pranav, just would like you to also share how a community helps in terms of, your child going about whatever they want to learn or whatever they want to do.
Yeah. So we have been associated with ROE since when Misty was 7, our daughter was 7, and so initially for exploring various different things, or as a part of exposure. So the club in the community, there are people with who have different interests, or different ideas, or they would have seen different things which they want to bring into the community and say, okay, I have tried this, you all can try this, or I have seen this, you all can see this. So accordingly, that there is a culmination of so many thoughts, ideas which come together, and then it becomes abundant space where there are people who are offering something. Like as a parent, if I am a chartered accountant, if there is some electronic guy, if there is some software guy, if there is some sports enthusiast, there is some person coming from government background, that person can offer. I can talk about how government policies and all work. So there will be different exposures for the child, and 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 they can offer their thing. Okay, I want to offer this, and whoever wants to receive it can come and join us. And even the child can take an initiative. Child says, I want to learn electronics, so whoever want to do it with me. Or somebody would say, I want to do maybe art or some sort of a different thing, or say gardening. So then the people interested will join the child. So it's again, everything is uh, it becomes multifold. Like the whole your universe expands in a way that there is so many things or so many areas you can choose from, uh, uh, as a part of a community, and the community always backs you. There is there when if you're on low time, sometimes there is confusion, there are sometimes you have concerns, your doubts, you can share with fellow parents. The children can talk to themselves and understand each other. So that way community really supports and helps in taking this journey forward.
Super. Thank you, Pranav. Uh, Maybe we can look at some other questions also. Anyone else wants to share a question or a thought?
Pritika, I have another question. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, Swapnil, just give me a moment. If anybody else
Yes.
doesn't have a question, maybe we can take Swapnil's question, next question too. But if anybody wants to ask a question, maybe then this is the time you can ask. Okay, Swapnil, go ahead.
So, see, learners, I am whatever you have presented or whatever I have researched about you guys, I am completely kind of satisfied. It is me as a parent is what I am trying to ask. What is that? So let me ask, say if the community is there for long, you would have met a lot of parents. So they would have come, say, day zero, day one, year two, year three, and likewise, right? So for community to thrive, you would have counseled, shared, and made them comfortable with the concept, right? And when they would have lived it for long, say maybe 1 year, 2 year, then they would have become evangelists for the same, right? So when you break a convention or when you are trying to step out of that boundary, what is that I should be preparing as a parent? So the previous question was also less about my child. It was more about us as a parent, which I asked that what I need to prepare as a parent.
Okay, so I think Swapnil, what you are talking about, that when parents start at day zero and they're kind of initiated or whatever, they're kind of counseled into so that's what, there is no system in terms of when it comes to open learning, right? And as a community, we are all walking together, but each of us has each family will have a different way of looking at things and different priorities, different needs. So the flavor of open learning at each family will be very different. So your family will co-create how you want to take your learning journey along with your child uh, to take it forward. Now, this will also keep evolving as you go about this journey. So I wouldn't say there is anything fixed that I can tell you, okay, do this, and you can. I think the main thing is come to Aarohi campus, experience living with the community for a week. That is something you can do to get a sense of what is it like living and learning with the community. You'll get a flavor of what is it for a week, and then you have we all have dived in. And then we are all exploring our own journey based on our needs, our interests. So your learning journey, your open learning journey of your family will evolve as you co-create it with the community. So I would suggest if you are very keen, come for a week to the campus and you will experience it firsthand.
Something just to add, I see. I can say what we as a family practice. I cannot say what is the right way or the particular way. As a parent, you one needs to be more patient in terms of letting your child, giving them that space, that time to figure out things. Uh, if they decide on and move on, like say they decide on A thing that they try it for some time, they go to B, C, D, E, F, whatever, or they may do three things together, and maybe one day they decide I don't want to pursue with this. So be patient, allow that time, that space to your child. Uh, Listen, have a discussion. Discussion is very important as a family, as a parent, to understand what your child needs. Uh, if there are some concerns that you have, you can share, express your concerns, talk to the child, and then take it along that way. So
So
it is
Pranat
more
sir,
of, sorry, बोलिए
to
बोलिए.
cut you. So I'm saying, I'm your friend, right? And just creating a visualization. I have come to you,
Hmm.
and I'm saying, I got to know that you have been involved in this open learning platform.
Hmm.
Do you think me as a parent should go ahead with this? I know I have seen your kid; she is thriving, she is doing really good. But what is that I need to be prepared when I join? So again, I'm saying where I'm not getting the answer. As a parent, if I can put, one is, uh, there are two paths. There are nowadays kids are even more exposed. They will figure out their own journey. They are intelligent, far more intelligent than yesteryear generations and all. And the future of work is also changing. So that is even beautiful. But I'm saying, coming from a conventional space, which is a normal schooling, my immediate milestone will be next 4 years, which is 10, or next milestone will be 12th, so as to be to complete a normal conventional construct of education, right? So you said that NIOS is one. Are there any other way of appearing for exam, or
So
have you guys? Yeah, tell me, sir.
yes, Swapnil, again, and you are using the word my milestone. So we are not
Huh.
discussing your milestone. We are discussing child's milestone and what child
Yeah.
decides.
Okay.
So it's for the child to decide if child wants to do skydiving and pursue it as a career, I don't think there is a 10 12 certificate required for that.
Required.
Okay. What say
So,
the child? Sorry, yeah.
yeah, so Pranav sir, I completely agree. So I'm
Can,
saying I
can
completely, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
can I join in? Can I join in? I just want to, add one thing. Like, Swapnil, you just, in your question only, there are so many answers to your questions. As you said, like two things that this whole thing is not about the child, it's about us. Second, you said, what do I have to prepare as a parent? So I would like to just address these two things. As you said it, it's not about a child right now. It's about us to unlearn so many things, to open to see how the world has so many possibilities to explore, not just only about the child, even for us also as a parent. So, in our journey as a parent, for my child, before she got into this sinking into this concept of open learning, we as parents got into this whole understanding of open learning. Second is, as you said, prepared. First of all, you don't have to get prepared, but even if you're really looking for something, the best thing is open to unlearn what has been there in the life from a very long time. As you said, milestone. What Pranav said it very rightly. We are not discussing here because maybe the milestone 10th or 12th is for you. You want the child to cross those milestones. Maybe the child doesn't want only. Child is into something else. Child wants to do something else. Like we have a big examples like Mishti, Pranav's daughter only. She's into sports. If she wants to make her career into sports, why she needs 10th and 12th for what purpose? Maybe her milestones are different. The child's milestone is so different. So for that, as a parent, if you really want to, we really want to get prepared, is the openness, unlearning to unlearn something and understand the child. Have lots of dialogue, discussions to understand the child's need and question your need that why do you want to come in this journey? What is the reason of coming in this
I got
journey?
it,
So
ma'am.
questioning. Hmm.
So I got it, ma'am. So that is where. So I'm saying you get convinced to a concept when you have different proofs, right? So you guys, individuals, are proof of that. Somebody who is following a premise, a construct. So Pranav sir discussed his way or what his daughter is doing. And as you rightly said, as a parent, I need to unlearn. So for that, how is that you guys will help me?
Okay,
It's your
okay.
journey. Yeah, okay,
Because,
Kritika.
yeah,
Yeah.
Swapnil, I would request you to firstly, again, we are all helping each other. Now, again, don't look at this as the community is not about one family, it's about all the families coming together. So it's as much as about how much you give in the community to what you get, right? So while you will go through your journey, you will have your own concerns. Different families will have different concerns. They'll all come together and they'll figure out their own journeys. Now, I'm not saying that the community will totally solve all your problems. So if you are coming with that mindset, no, community will not solve anyone's problems, because there is, as an institute, this is not an institute where there are set of people who will solve anyone's problems. But the very enriching part is that all of us are walking together, and we have our own milestones, as both Pranav and Ruchika are kind of hinting at. We have our own milestones, and each of us is leading towards that. Now, I would still request you to get an experience or a proof of it, to experience yourself. Come to the campus with us, live with us for a week, and see what that journey does to you. Yes, Baisaki, you want to add?
Yes, what I want to add is that, uh, Swapnil was saying that how I can what way we can unlearn, how parents, how we can get prepared to be open, prepared to have patience, and to know that this patience is actually things are privileged, how to observe and see, because how the conditions that we had gone through from generations are not are giving us these questions. So for that, there is a specific program called Jagriti, which is specifically for parents only, to understand not only the child, first to oneself, how we learn, how we evolve as human being first, and then as parents. And then and on the way, you learn that how your child, any child, is actually learning, how to observe them, how to observe yourself, and how to observe them. So I think
Sure.
Jagriti is also one more
Super, super.
program which
Yes.
the parents which are who wants to do open learning can be hugely benefited.
Yes, thank you, Besaki. We are but almost towards the end of the Jagriti session in this time. So Jan is the next opportunity where parents who are interested to kind of look at the child through a different lens. Jagriti is the program. Swapnil, I hope your questions are not answered. I'm okay with that. Keep mulling over it and keep looking at our YouTube videos. But stay with your questions. I hope you're not settled yet. So,
and
okay.
keep attending these meetups every
Yes,
Saturday, which is happening.
sure, sure, sure. Okay. Maybe anyone else wants to share their question. We have 10 more minutes.
So, is there any annual fees or anything of that sort for joining in the community?
Yes, Swaransh. Now it all depends on what kind of like some families are connected from home, some are at the campus. So I will drop in the web page link where you will get a. So Aarohi is a not-for-profit. So we work with family contributions. Basically, all the families who are part of the community contribute towards the working of the community. So I will drop in the website link where you will get these details. Okay, I am also dropping in the link for how you can come and visit Aarohi campus. You can visit us for a week, or you can visit for a single day on Thursday. But both of these require prior registration. So just don't come right away to the campus. Please register. A lot of options are there in terms of the weekly stay, where you can decide and plan and yeah. More questions from others?
Kritika, so actually I have few questions in my mind, but still, contemplating on it, because right now my son, he has given exam for 12th standard and he has not cleared his one paper, maths paper. Okay, so earlier he was like studying till 10th standards, all his subjects very well. Now in 11th and 12th, like what he was giving through NIOS, he was more interested in mountain biking, as I mentioned earlier. So Okay, we thought like, okay, we'll give him time and whatever he wants to pursue, he'll do that and let him do. Okay, he wants to study on his own, so he has left his school and doing that. During that period, he was doing mountain biking, like for hours during the day on his own, has learned very well so many things and whatever is required for that. But his interest towards studies is really has come down. Okay, so which is like, okay, we said, okay, let him do in his way whatever he wants to do. We were not interfering in between. But during his exam, we have observed that, and we tried if he need any guidance, he want to take classes or tuition, which he tried, and in between he like, I don't want to go, I want to learn myself. Okay, so we said, okay, then you want to study on your own, do it. That also he has done. But throughout that, what has happened that his result is not good. Where earlier he was, I would not say that, okay, what it is, when he was going to school, he was studying very well, but definitely he's very sharp. He has a sharp mind and he studied, but suddenly has lost his interest in studies. Okay. So it's, as a mother, I am thinking that whether this route, this way is right or not. Because if he wants to, and he wants to pursue mountain biking as a career, which in India, there is no option as it. So he has to go abroad for that. Okay. And for this is required is he has to go for some higher studies or something, then only he'll get into some college or in any learning institution and all, where it is, because it is not possible to send him like for the mountain biking. Monetarily also, it is not, I would say that it's not that easy for us to send them there. So we want him to study as well and just to do this as well. So presently, because of that, he has lost his interest in studies. So I am thinking what to do. That's my question.
Okay. All right. So somewhere I'm sensing that your need, as you're mentioning, is that he's not studying, and that's a concern, is what I'm sensing from as you say, right?
Right.
But what has he done in terms of mountain biking? Has he explored anything in India? What, if you can share a bit about what he's done in that, maybe then we can explore it further.
Okay, so like in India, there are not many. I would say the institutions are not there. There is a community, mountain biking community, where the people, those who are interested, they are learning on their own. They are coming together. I'm from Pune, basically. So in Pune also there are places, hills around. So these kids, maybe of different age group, even the seniors, they are also there, like people in 20s or 30s and even 10, 12 years old. So he has mingled with all those people, which is very good in that manner. And he has learned all those downhill, like in mountain biking, they have different kind of terrain. So he is doing downhill biking. Okay, so he's learning that through the other people, which is very good, everything. But, in terms of profession, if he wants to pursue that as a profession, or he wants to go ahead with it, or he wants to learn more in it, there is not a particular setup in India. Okay, so he has to go abroad to do that, which we are open to it. But we want that along with that, he has to go for some higher studies so he can like match both the things together.
Okay, so Shilpi, this higher studies bit is your need, or is it something that your child is also wanting to do? Okay, let me share. Like many times we are kind of, we are made to believe that, okay, only with a higher studies or with a degree or with something that, one can go abroad, or one can take up a course, or one can do something. Like if I give you the example of our co-founder's daughter, like when she was exploring, now she's not given 10th or 12th, and for setting up her business. She wanted to, she was keen on doing a course in sustainability from Azim Premji University. Now, ideally, nobody will entertain, let's say, one thinks that nobody will entertain without a 10th or 12th. But she had a portfolio of work that she had done so far in that domain. And by virtue of that portfolio, she was given an admission. So the idea is to step back and see what uh, is his interest at the moment, keep going deeper, and not get restricted by this is the only way. Yes, that is one way to kind of go about it. But as he keeps going deeper, he will also evolve in terms of how he is liking this as a profession. Or, I'll give you another example. Like one of the teens who was part of CoVersity last year, uh, 5 years ago, all he knew was football. Okay. And at 13, he went to, practice it professionally, be part of a club. And after 4 years, he said, football is not something I want to pursue as a profession. So I'm saying as one keeps exploring, but it kind of evolves, right? And it didn't stop there for him. Now he's into digital marketing. So I'm saying keep your options open and keep going deeper in what he likes doing. And the options will evolve from there. Don't get fixated. Okay, this is the only one way to go about it. That is one way that we know. Maybe once he goes a bit further and he might be able to explore many other options.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, he is exploring different things. What you say, I agree to it. We are feeling let him explore what he wants to do and all. Also, sometimes, yeah, see, so like he has, when he finished his exam, now the people are started asking him, okay, so in which college are you taking admission and what you want to do? So somehow the pressure is also coming on. Of course, as a parent, we also feel the same thing. I'm not saying that I'm not thinking in that manner. Said, okay, I want to do computer science. I want to take admission in engineering. And I said, okay, but you have not prepared for it. You have not, how will you get admission into any college like that? Okay, that's the thing. But sometimes, of course, the, society pressure or whatever, and we have to come out of it. And we are trying that, okay, what you are saying is right, completely okay. At the same time, yes, in terms of his exploration and practice, he is really doing well, because in the last year he has participated in one mountain biking competition in Ladakh for the first time, and he did really well in that. Then he has his YouTube channel. He is posting whatever he is learning and doing all those things.
Sure,
That
sure.
is good.
Shilpi, that's
All
what
those
yeah, Shilpi, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you short because we are nearing towards the end. But still, I would suggest that also mountain biking, don't look at it at, doing the mountain biking is the only thing about that profession, right? Like when we think of bakers, we think baking is the only thing they will do. But there are so many facets to that profession itself. Like you could be a research or a menu consultant, or you could open up a cloud kitchen, whatever. So the options are plenty. Don't get fixated on just looking at one aspect. Definitely there's CoVersity for teenagers, where 1 year they are doing focused what they want to do, and doing it with a bit of industry exposure, experience, and all that is there. But they are totally dedicated to what they want to do. So I will maybe pause on that for now. Um, any other, maybe one last question, if somebody has, then we can take.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. So I was looking at the payment of the year and monthly kind of a thing. So is Aarohi is like a residential campus kind of community where the children can stay, or it is more so that the child can come for 1 week and then go back?
Okay, so Swaransh, there are multiple options. You can come, your child can be part of the campus for the entire year if that is what you need, or you can be connected from your home, and there are multiple options for you to keep coming to campus for some months or some weeks or just 1 week. So the options are all there. It is up to each family on how they want to, what kind of engagement they want. Like, do they want to be at the campus for the entire year, or they want to keep visiting sometimes here and there. So all the options are there.
So the whatever thing, it continues for the year, like academic year, what we call in the regular school. It's a similar pattern which is followed there also.
Uh, uh, I wouldn't look at it as an academic year in the sense, like families can join the Aarohi community for a year. Now you can do that at any part of point in the year, right? So it's not like we all start at, let's say, June. As a family, you can join and at any part in the year, and but you are committing to the committee for a year. Now you could be committed from your home, or you can be at the campus. And there are multiple options: at the campus for 1 year, or at the campus for some months, or at the campus for 1 week. So, but yeah, you are part of the community for 1 year. You start with a year. And to experience that, you can come and stay with us for a week to get a sense of how it is happening.
So if just for the curiosity's sake, like right now, how many students are there in numbers in the campus staying residential kinds?
So at the campus, at the moment, we have around, I think, 6 to 7 families who are part of the campus. And we have couple of teen families also who are part, but they are not at the campus currently. They are in their internships. So it keeps varying really in that sense. Like, teens are there at some time, sometimes they're off campus. But yeah, at the moment, 6 to 7 families are part at the campus. Yeah. Surely, Shilpi, we can connect to go deeper into what your child needs and take it from there. Uh, all right. Thank you, everyone, for coming on a Saturday evening. And thank you to all the families, Ruchika, Pranav, Baisakhi, for sharing your journeys with us. We will pause for today.